Everyone hates Minecraft 1.20, or at least that's what we thought. I have a feeling that's not actually the case anymore. Let's do a quick recap of how this update cycle has gone. October 15th, 2022. Minecraft Live was hosted, and they announced that they'd be doing things a little bit differently this year. The update was going to be revealed over time, and they weren't going to tell us the name for the update until we were way down the road in the future. Agnes said that they were going to learn from their mistakes.
We have announced some features that we didn't manage to deliver, and it's important that we learn from that and that we take action from that.
They decided to only show the features that were much further along in the development process, and because of that, the features they showed during the live stream were pretty underwhelming.
So this year, we think we will have time to really iterate on the features together with the community, of course, and also to add features that we haven't showed yet, like that we haven't showed today.
And so it began. Here's what was shown off during the stream. New default skins, hanging signs, bamboo wood with the raft, chiseled bookshelves, and camels. That was pretty much it. 4 new in-game features and some skins. Needless to say, the community was a little bit disappointed. However, October 19th, 2022, the first snapshot goes live. It had only been 4 days since Minecraft Live, and there were already new things in the game. This is pretty different from the multiple months between the Wild Updates announcement in October of 2021 and the first snapshot in March of 2022. Months after the announcement. So yeah, that was pretty cool that they were already adding features in the game, but it's not like they're gonna do much more with this during this year, right? Bam! Snapshot on the 26th. Bam! Snapshot on November 2nd. Bam! Snapshot on November 9th. Snapshot on November 16th. And then 1.19.3 is released. Whoa. Throughout all of these snapshots, there were changes made based on the community suggestions, and new features were added that make a lot of people happy. Maybe they are doing some cool things, but there still aren't really a lot of features. Bam! Snapshot on January 18th. Oh, wait, this one isn't actually all that interesting. It feels like they're slowing down a little bit. Just kidding. Bam! Snapshot on January 24th with a new feature we'd never seen before called armor trims. Now you can add these cool extra details to your armor. And then on February 1st, they made more changes based on community feedback and made the trims even better. And then we had another random snapshot on the 8th that had a couple wild command things happening with display entities. But then, February 10th, archeology. February 13th, the sniffer. February 14th, a surprise feature, cherry blossoms. And then the snapshot drops on the 15th with all these features ready to go. Oh, there's a camel down there. Hey man, how's it going? Over the course of just 5 days, Minecraft basically doubled the amount of snapshot content in-game. And now the people are kind of loving it. Of course, the updates aren't without their flaws, and Minecraft themselves say that the features are unfinished. For example, finding and hatching the sniffer egg. And now, here we are. 3 minutes after I said quick recap, and with about 82% of you still not subscribed.
Both of these things are very confusing.
So first, let's talk about the new features, and then we'll dive into why I think the player base hated the update originally. Also, I'd like to mention why I feel like this update is possibly the best update for Minecraft we've ever had, and it's not necessarily just because of the new features, but I'll dive into that in a bit. Stick around. The first edition we've got here is an edition they announced way back in 2020 during the Caves and Cliffs update. This is the long-awaited archeology system. The way it was originally intended was that you could use a brush to dig away at layers of blocks to get to the treasures inside. Pots were also added, but they were a little more complex, requiring the pot to be cooked over a fire with the shards. The system was pretty cool, but they postponed it indefinitely. The version as it was added in 23W07A is quite a bit different from the original idea. This time you still have a brush, but the artifacts revolve around a new block called suspicious sand. This new type of sand can be found in desert wells, finally giving them a use, and also in desert pyramids in a new treasure room when you dig out all of these new sand blocks. When you find these new sand blocks, you'll want to be pretty careful as they're quite fragile. But if you use the brush, you can right-click on it and extract the hidden artifacts within. Wow, what a cool artifact. Explosives. After digging through a few of them, you'll likely happen upon these pottery shards with different designs. You can combine 4 of them in a crafting table, or substitute out any of them for bricks to create a clay pot that you can place around your world and decorate with. You can either break them normally to get the pot back, or you can break them with a pickaxe to get all of your pieces back. This is all still subject to change, so there's plenty more that they could do with this system, so we'll just have to keep an eye on the future snapshots and see how this feature progresses. As always, they're taking community feedback on this implementation into account as they iterate, so there's plenty of possibilities. possibilities. Next up, we have the Sniffer. This is the mob vote mob from this past Minecraft Live, and it's starting to take shape really nicely. As it stands right now, the only way to get the Sniffer is through creative mode, but the survival implementation will come in a future snapshot in the form of sniffer eggs. Once spawned in, you can see the Sniffer is pretty large. I mean, check him out compared to me. He's pretty tall. The design is pretty fun and colorful, and it has the feeling of a sort of ancient dinosaur. Of course, there's also the adorable little Snifflets that you can spawn into. Look at him. He's so cute. They're still pretty large, but they're so much cuter. They're so small. Sniffers are passive mobs, and they can't be tamed or tempted by anything. You can still grab them with a lead, but yeah, they're not like any sort of farmable animal. Every once in a while, the Sniffer will plop down on the ground and dig around in the grass. They'll then dig up a torchflower seed. Also, they have this adorable animation after they find something, and they'll lift their head and they'll wiggle their ears like they're proud of it. Ah, so cute. Now that you have your torchflower seed, you'll want to grow it into something actually beautiful and useful. The seed gets planted on farmland and is grown like any other crop into a beautiful torchflower. Just gonna use bone meal real quick. This can then be picked up and used as decoration pretty much anywhere. It can also be used for orange dye. It doesn't glow though, which I feel like it should give off some sort of light. Like that feels like it would make sense. Feels fitting for the name torchflower. This likely isn't the only ancient plant that's going to be added though. We're anticipating at least 1 or 2 more ancient seed options to be added. Just check out this image by a pretty reputable leaker of Minecraft's upcoming features. Roger is rarely wrong. Once again, these features are subject to change, and the team is taking community feedback. And finally, a feature that came out of absolutely nowhere for me. This is the Cherry Grove biome. As you can see here, these biomes appear at higher elevations like meadows and include a full cherry wood set, as well as this really nice petal ground cover. I mean, look at it, it's so pretty. The saplings of the trees make really good decoration blocks as well, and they look even better in little flower pots. They're like a little bonsai tree, check it out. Even more great decoration potential. The leaves also let off this gorgeous pink particle, and you know, any way to improve ambience and control particles is a win in my book. Also, let's just take a look at the new wood set. I mean, just look at the beautiful pink palette that this is. Oh man, oh, it's just so nice. It's so pretty. I love it so much. Also, pink boat. What's not to love about this? That right there is truly amazing. This forest isn't quite in the Bedrock beta yet, but it is planned on coming soon. And also, same iteration and subject to change things apply to these features, but you already knew that. So this is the current state of the 1.20 update in 2023, and this is just the 2023 features. That over doubled the features from 2022. I'd say that puts this update in a pretty solid spot in my mind. So why exactly did the player base have such a negative reception of the 1.20 update when it was first showed at Minecraft Live? Well, here's my theory. I think it's exactly what I just said a moment ago. The additions here in 2023 are over double what was announced during Minecraft Live, which means there was very little that people had to look forward to. In the past, Minecraft would announce essentially everything that was coming in the next update, and when features like fireflies were canceled for whatever reason, players were upset. But this doesn't change the fact that the players were used to seeing everything that's being included in an update. So when Mojang decided,
well, now we're not going to show you everything this time, we'll just reveal it over time,
people got upset. It feels pretty selfish at first glance, but at the same time, that's just how us humans are. We like getting new things, and when we feel like those new things are being held back from us, it's easy to be frustrated. Also, I think there was a subgroup of people that didn't fully understand what was going on with the new update cycle. People were thinking, oh, that's it? This is all the features we got? This is the whole thing? Well, that's dumb. And they didn't realize that the team was taking their time with adding more content later on. So to be completely honest, I think it's completely reasonable that people were frustrated in the beginning. If you're a casual player that doesn't dig into updates, it's easy to miss the way that things change. It's easy to think, oh, that's it, and make your conclusions based on that. But that's no longer the case. We've got so much more, and in my personal opinion, I honestly think this update might be one of the best Minecraft updates we've had in a very long time. But why would I think that? Well, it's not necessarily because of the features. And don't get me wrong, they're fantastic, but it's much more about the way that they've been added to the game. Take armor finishes, for example. Originally, armor pieces could have every color of finish other than the actual material the armor was made out of. So, iron armor couldn't have an iron trim, netherite armor couldn't have a netherite trim, and so on. Plus, leather armor didn't have trims at all, so the community gave mixed feedback on this. And then, sure enough, in the next snapshot, those changes were implemented. Now, armor can have everything the community wanted. And that is exactly why why I think this update is the best update Minecraft has had in a very long time. This shift to listening to the community and making changes based on what they hear is an excellent way to do things. There's a lot of really good ideas that come from the players. So because of this, I have a feeling the torch flowers will end up giving off light by the end of this update cycle. That feels like exactly the type of update Mojang is willing to make, and that's why I feel like it's the best update yet. While we wait for those updates though, I'm just gonna hang out here in this cherry forest and just kind of enjoy myself, you know, because it's really pretty. It's really just pleasant. What are those guys doing over there? Where'd they come from?